Waitress loses job for aiding undercover boss discover the incredible truth that transformed her. Anna had always said that a smile could change the world. She wore hers like a badge of honor, brightening the small diner in town where she worked long hours laced with grease and stress. Her hands, calloused from lugging trays, still found the strength to soothe Max when he cried after losing a soccer match. She poured her heart into her work, juggling her job and single motherhood, all while dreaming of a better life for her 7-year-old son. But on a hectic Saturday evening, the diner buzzed with customers hungry for comfort food that soothed their economic struggles. The sun dipped low, casting a golden glow through the window. As chaos erupted, coffee splattered on the floor, and orders piling high. A new figure walked in. He was unassuming but had a quiet, watchful presence. For Anna, he was just another warm body to help fill the gaps on a busy night. "Hey there, you must be the new guy," she called, her smile warm as she wiped sweat from her brow. "Come on, let us hustle." As the two worked together, it felt like they were a well-oiled machine. They coordinated orders, shared quick laughs amidst the turmoil, and managed to turn a frantic atmosphere into a dance of efficiency. But when the shift ended and Anna let out a sigh of relief, her moment of triumph shattered in an instant. The management called her into the back room, faces stern as they accused her of overstepping boundaries, of teaching a mere temp how to run the diner. Heart sinking, Anna was fired. A mix of disbelief and outrage welled up inside her. How could they not see her intentions? She felt the walls closing in on her, the weight of financial bills like an anchor dragging her dreams beneath the waves. Whispers of sympathy from co-workers faded into the salt of her wounds. Just then, Joe, a local veteran with lines of wisdom etched on his face, stepped in. "It's not just you, Anna. They've been pushing us all around," he said quietly, his voice steady. "We've got to stand up." His words brushed against her despair, igniting a spark of hope. Armed with courage, Anna gathered her co-workers, refusing to let fear hold them down. They shared stories, revealing the injustice that had been simmering beneath the surface, fueling a fire of collective strength within the diner staff. This was more than a job, it was a lifeline, a community. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. In the heart of their newfound unity, news surfaced of the temp who had watched Anna closely that night. Whispers about his true identity filled the air. He was an undercover boss. 100 questions danced like fireflies. Had he seen her struggle? Would he help them? Would she now be alone fighting corporate indifference? Or was this a step toward real change? With her heart racing, Anna found herself standing at a meeting, the weight of their dreams heavy on her shoulders. She looked into the sea of familiar faces, uncertainty gnawing at her, but also the fierce fire of hope. Could her act of kindness truly be the spark they needed? Just as she opened her mouth to speak, the room fell silent. Each person eager for her words, everyone waiting for change to unfold in a deeply uncertain moment. Anna felt the weight of all those eyes on her. Each person in that room had a story, a struggle that echoed her own. She gulped, her hands trembling slightly as she held onto the edge of the table. What should she say? The silence wrapped around her, heavy yet electric, as if waiting for a spark to ignite change. "Listen," she began, her voice gaining strength as the words flowed. "We've all been through so much. We've worked hard and given everything for this place, only to be treated like we don't matter." The sincerity in her voice resonated through the small crowd, drawing nods of agreement. "But we do matter. Each of us has a role here, not just as employees, but as a family. We can't let them turn us against each other." Joe stood beside her, giving her an encouraging nod, and with it, the courage began surging through Anna. "I was fired for just trying to show someone how to work, for wanting to help. That's who we are. We are helpers. And if we come together, we can make them see it too." Joe cleared his throat, his voice gruff but filled with pride. "We deserve respect. It's high time they realize we are the backbone of this place." We deserve more than being pushed around. If they want to listen, we'll make them. His words struck a chord, and murmurs of agreement spread in the room like wildfire. With renewed determination, Anna laid out her idea. Let us gather our stories, everyone asks. Let us write down what we've experienced. The long hours, the low wages, the disrespect. If we present it together, we make a statement. The room buzzed with energy. The thought of their stories unified as one made Anna's heart race. The days that followed were filled with fervor. On lunch breaks and after shifts, they banded together, an army of waitstaff, cooks, and dishwashers pouring their hearts onto paper. Their tales floated through the diner like a melody, laughter mixed with the somber weight of shared struggles, creating a tapestry of resilience. With every word written, they forged a deeper connection, transforming their individual narratives into a collective anthem. But as the pieces began to come together, Anna couldn't shake the feeling of doubt lurking in the back of her mind. Would it be enough? What would happen if they extended their reach beyond the diner? Just as those thoughts threatened to drown her, a familiar face appeared at the diner door. It was the temp, the undercover boss. This time, he wasn't hiding behind a disguise. Anna, he called out, his voice steady but laced with uncertainty. Can we talk? Everyone paused, their earlier excitement giving way to an anxious hush. Anna's heart raced. This could change everything. She looked around at her co-workers. They were ready. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, determination coursing through her veins. Sure, she replied, her voice stronger than she felt. But before she could hear what he had to say, a surge of anticipation washed over the group. What did he come to offer? Did he understand the impact of their fight? The moment felt brimming with possibilities, a tipping point in their journey as Anna approached him. The weight of the collective stories they shared seemed to pulse around her, like a living entity wrapped in hope and desperation. Would this moment lead to the change they all dreamed of, or would it crumble beneath the heavy hand of corporate indifference? Let us hear it, she urged, and with that simple phrase, Anna realized the stakes had never been higher. What revelation lay ahead? What were they about to uncover? The room held its breath, waiting for the answer. He looked at her, searching for the right words. Tension hung in the air, thick enough to cut. Everyone's eyes were locked on them, anticipation electrifying the room. Finally, he spoke, his voice steady but soft. I came to listen. I've seen the way you all work, the dedication. It's clear that this place isn't just a job for you. It's a community. Anna's heart skipped a beat. Was this pity or genuine understanding? The others exchanged glances, some hope beginning to glimmer amidst the uncertainty. But he continued, and that single word cut through the moment. I also recognize that much of what is happening isn't as simple as it seems. The company is changing, and I've been tasked with making it happen, seeing how we can increase profits, streamline. Your stories, they matter, but I'm afraid I can't promise you what you want. A wave of disappointment washed over the group. Anna felt it wash over her like ice water. We want respect. We want to be heard. She blurted out, unable to hold back the frustration boiling to the surface. This isn't just about profits. It's about us. He nodded, a look of empathy crossing his face. I understand, and I want to help. But you need to understand the bigger picture. This company is driven by numbers and margins. Anna took a deep breath, trying to find focus. But what if those numbers were built on stories? On us? We shouldn't be invisible cogs lost in a machine. True. He paused, letting her words linger in the air. And there's power in unity. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the most influential changes come from real voices, not boardrooms. Her mind raced. A flicker of possibility ignited within her. Then let us use our voices. Share our stories, not just with each other, but with the higher-ups. If you believe in us, help facilitate that. He stared, clearly weighing her proposition. It's ambitious, but perhaps if you gather your stories, document everything, you could present it. If it's compelling, it could shake them enough to lend an ear. There was a pause where time seemed to stretch thin. But be careful. This could backfire. The room erupted with murmurs, excitement crackling in the air. Anna felt vibrant energy flowing through her, the rush of possibility. No more fear. We can't let fear bind us anymore, she declared, her voice loud and full of conviction. Joe stepped up beside her, the spirit of the group igniting around them. Whatever you need, We'll rally behind it. We'll have each other's backs. Anna looked around, the faces around her radiating warmth and determination. They were ready to take this leap, ready to step beyond their fears. But in the back of her mind, there was still that nagging doubt. Could they truly make a difference? Let us meet tonight, Anna said finally. We'll brainstorm how to gather everything, make it strong. We'll show them we are a force to be reckoned with. The undercover boss nodded, appearing more colorful and approachable now, like he was part of their story. I'll do what I can to keep you in the loop. Real change is difficult, but if you can show them you matter, it might just work. I'll be rooting for you. As he left the diner, Anna felt the rush of hope, tinged with worry. This was their chance, but with higher stakes than ever. They were on the brink of something monumental, yet uncertainty loomed heavy. What could they uncover through their stories? Tonight, they would transform their struggle into strength. But in the back of Anna's mind, another thought brewed: was the boss really on their side? Or would he ultimately serve the corporate machine? The lines were drawn, and as she gathered her thoughts for the night's meeting, she realized one daunting truth. The fight was just beginning. Would they be strong enough to face whatever lay ahead? Anna sat at a small round table in the corner of the diner, tapping her pen against her notepad, as if hoping the noise would inspire her thoughts. The air was thick with the remnants of the lunch rush, the clatter of dishes and murmurs of patrons still echoing in her ears. It was the calm before a storm she sensed looming over them. The plan was to gather around 7 p.m. Her heart raced at the thought of the meeting. They would unite, shifting from isolated voices to a chorus demanding to be heard. But doubt gnawed at her insides. What if no one cared? What if their stories fell on deaf ears? Joe found her in the corner, his easy grin cutting through the haze of her thoughts. Hey, you look like you're about to solve world hunger all by yourself. What's up? She couldn't help but smile back. Just trying to figure out how to present our stories. We need to make them matter. He leaned in, his eyes earnest. They will matter. Trust me. If we don't share them, who will? Anna nodded, the warmth of encouragement filling the spaces where doubt once resided. She took a breath, allowing the idea of unity to envelop her, each voice a vital thread in their tapestry. As the diner's neon lights flickered, a few more members trickled in, hesitant but curious. Lisa, a waitress who had always joked about her cat videos rather than sharing personal stories, arrived, biting her lip. What if my story is not enough? I've never thought of it as important. Are you kidding? Joe replied, a hand on her shoulder. Your story is yours. It matters just because it's yours. You've seen so much in this place. We all have. The night deepened, and the diner buzzed with energy, a collective fire being stoked. They gathered around Anna, forming a tight circle that felt safe, yet charged with purpose. Each voice, nervous at first, began to flow, sharing experiences that had shaped their lives in the job, punctuated by laughter and tears. Anna listened as Lisa recounted how she began working to support her family and how the diner had become her second home, a place filled with friends who had become family. In that moment, Anna realized that every story was a building block for their cause, testimonies breathing life into their shared struggle. I've had to swallow my pride too many times, said Mark, who worked behind the counter. They just look at us as numbers, you know? No one sees the work, the effort. It's like we're ghosts at times. The group grew quiet. Anna could feel the weight of his words, an echo of shared pain binding them. We need to show them we're not ghosts, she urged. We are flesh and blood, with lives outside of these walls. Our stories deserve a spotlight. As the clock ticked closer to 8, they found themselves sketching plans how to document their stories, the format, bringing in artifacts from their lives that illustrated their hopes and struggles. The excitement surged within them, each declaration amplifying the others. But as Anna paused, something in her gut nodded again. What if this backfires? What if they decide it's easier to suppress us than listen? Joe caught her eye, his expression steady. That's the risk we have to take. No change comes without risk. If we don't do this, what is the alternative? Silent surrender? Before she could respond, nudged by several heads nodding in agreement, the weight of their decision pressed down on her. Would they dare to step into the fray, knowing there was no guarantee of success? Would they rally together, their collective voices powerful enough to break the corporate mold? As they concluded their meeting, Anna could feel a wave of determination washing over her. They were ready for what lay ahead, ready to unveil their stories to the world. But there was one question lingering in her mind, one that tugged at the edges of her resolve. Could they truly withstand the system designed to keep them silent? The night would tell. The diner was alive, the evening's energy sparking with anticipation. Anna stood at the helm of their makeshift strategy session, her heart racing with an urgency that matched the busy atmosphere around her. The walls of the diner felt like they were closing in, yet the reality of their shared mission hung heavy with both excitement and trepidation. "Okay, everyone, let us start mapping this out," she urged, her voice steadying as she glanced around at the familiar faces around the table. "We need to know what stories we're willing to share and how we want to show our strength. We've got to be ready." Joe nodded, pacing a bit as he thought aloud. "Maybe we should each write down key points, the moments that really shaped us in this job. It'll make it easier when we actually have to speak. And remember, if someone feels comfortable, they can share anecdotes or even bring in photos or mementos." As they began jotting down their stories, the atmosphere shifted. The laughter that punctuated their conversation slowly gave way to deeper reflections, allowing them to connect in unexpected ways. Anna watched Lisa rummaging through her bag, pulling out an old, worn apron. She held it up, her eyes glistening. This apron, it'd seen more than just coffee stains. It was my armor on bad days. Wearing it made me feel like I could face anything. I want to tell my story because maybe it'll help someone else who feels invisible, Lisa said, her voice trembling with resolve. A murmur of agreement swept through the others, hands reaching out to connect with one another's stories. Mark offered up a faded badge he had earned for exceptional customer service. "This represents my struggle to be seen for the hard work I put in. I want them to know I matter. We all matter." The table erupted with murmurs of support, eyes wide with understanding. Each piece of memorabilia becoming more than just a trinket. They were the footprints of life marking their journeys. "Do you all remember the night we banded together when the health inspector showed up unannounced?" Joe broke in, laughter and pride in his voice. "I mean, we turned that panic into a hilarious way to keep the place running. We were a team, fighting for each other." That moment hung in the air, a memory they cherished, binding them together. It was clear to Anna that these shared memories were not just catalysts for their cause, they were lifelines. Each reflection was the touchstone of their resilience. But after the laughter faded, Anna felt the tension creep back. What if putting ourselves out there results in backlash? What if the owner punishes us for speaking out? A heavy silence swallowed the group. Fear loomed like a storm cloud, darkening the enthusiasm that had just illuminated the room. Joe turned to her, his brow furrowed in thought. "If we don't act, nothing changes. Stepping into the light means risking shadows, but those shadows can't extinguish our light if we stand together." Feeling bolstered by his words, Anna took a breath, determination flaring within her. "This isn't just about us anymore. It's about everyone who feels powerless, all the people coming in and out of these doors. We need to break the silence together." Suddenly, a loud crash disrupted their reverie. A delivery truck had just unloaded crates outside, jolting them back into the reality of the world outside the diner. It felt like a wake-up call, the timing almost serendipitous. They hadn't just been slipped into a comfortable corner of their lives, they were witnesses to a larger struggle that demanded their actions. Resilience bubbling, they moved back to planning. Each story snaking through the room, they pulsed with newfound fire. As Anna ransacked the pages of her notes, page by page, she was struck with clarity on how to confront the system head-on. But just as they began firming up their plans, the diner's door swung open with a rush, and in walked their manager, his face taut and expression dark. "What is going on in here?" he snapped, his eyes narrowing as they all fell silent, fear slicing through the air. Anna's heart raced, uncertainty rattling her insides. Was this the moment they had been waiting for, or the beginning of their unraveling? The question loomed heavy in the room, an electrifying tension thickening the air as they awaited what would happen next. The room went still, and every pair of eyes weighed heavily on their manager. He stood in the doorway, a shadow cast over their safe haven. There was a part of Anna that wanted to shrink into her seat, wanting to disappear rather than face the storm brewing outside. But she knew better. They had come too far. Nothing, just planning a special. She forced a smile, trying to sound casual. This was an honest effort to redirect his attention, but the quiver in her voice betrayed her. Planning a special? He echoed, disbelief lacing his tone. Is that what you call it? He walked further into the diner, tension tightening in the air like a noose. Anna quickly exchanged glances with her co-workers. Each one seemed to share the same flicker of panic in their eyes. But in that moment, she saw something else, a spark of determination, the kind that comes from feeling supported. They were there for each other, and that made a world of difference. Maybe we should take this outside, Joe suggested, his voice laced with equal parts confidence and caution. Anna appreciated his instinct to shield them, but she felt the urgency deep within. It was time to stand up. No, Anna said, finally finding her courage. We're just sharing ideas about how to make the diner better. Everyone here cares about making this place feel welcoming and valued. Isn't that right? Her gaze swept across the table, where nods of agreement sprang forth like wildflowers. The manager's lips curled into a condescending smile. So, is that what you're calling it? Because it sounds like a bunch of whining to me. A swell of defiance collected in Anna's chest as she spoke again, emboldened by the echoes of support around her. Whining? No, this is about change. Each one of us has poured our heart and soul into this diner. We've struggled and fought just to be acknowledged. We deserve a voice, and so do the countless customers who walk through these doors, seeking warmth and understanding. The man's expression hardened, but he remained silent, trapped in a moment where conflict and accountability hung in the balance. I hope you understand, Mark added bravely. This isn't about fighting you. We don't want to hurt the diner, but the way things are, it's breaking us. And it doesn't have to be this way. A weighty silence settled in. The other patrons stole glances, sensing the rising tension. For many, this conversation was a reflection of their own fears and frustrations that Anna's heart raced, but she sensed a turning point. This could be at the moment they catapulted from whispers of change into a roar. Suddenly, their manager sighed, leaning against the edge of a table, arms crossed defensively against his chest. Change. You think you can just ask for change, and it will happen? This industry is ruthless. A wave of fury surged through Anna, yet deep inside, she felt the cool rush of solidarity. Then let us prove that wrong. We can adjust, adapt, make this diner the heart of the community. Together. His eyes narrowed, weighing her words, as if he didn't know whether to scoff or contemplate. The air felt charged, as if every person held their breath, waiting for the next crack in the silence. And then, just as uncertainty threatened to suffocate them all, the bell above the door chimed again. A woman stumbled in, visibly shaken, her eyes wide and searching the room. Help! She gasped, her voice piercing the heavy atmosphere like a knife. They're out to get me. The diner erupted into chaos as Anna instinctively moved toward her. Was this the sign they had been waiting for? What had they unwittingly stepped into? Anna reached the woman, a flurry of adrenaline pushing her forward. The woman's clothes were disheveled, her face pale as she clutched the edge of the counter like it was her lifeline. Anna could see the tremor in her hands, a stark contrast to the vibrancy they usually displayed as they poured coffee or set meals in front of customers. Take a deep breath, Anna said, her voice calm yet urgent. What happened? Who's after you? The woman glanced over her shoulder, her eyes darting as if the walls themselves were watching. I don't know how much time I have. They're not just angry, they're dangerous. Anna felt shivers run down her spine. This wasn't a typical afternoon at the diner. The air felt electric, a mixture of curiosity and fear. Her co-workers crowded around, drawn into the magnetic pull of the woman in distress. Joe stepped in, his voice steady. Focus on us. You're safe here. Just tell us what you need. His presence was reassuring, a protective shield after the clash with their manager moments before. I was just trying to do my job, she whimpered. I saw something. I overheard them talking about plans that could hurt people, and instead of reporting it to the cops, I told my boss. Anna's heart raced as every word dripped with urgency. What kind of plans? The woman swallowed hard. It involves the diner. This place. They want to steal from it, and they have someone on the inside. Gasps filled the diner. They weren't just battling their manager anymore. They were up against shadows lurking in their business. Where's your boss now? Anna pressed, trying to piece together the story. He doesn't believe me. The woman spat out, anger and fear intertwining in her voice. I refused to help them, and now I'm afraid they'll come after me. I thought the diner could be a safe place. You all seem like you care. Anna's mind spun, energy crackling through the air like lightning. We do care. We're fighting for this diner for our community. You're not alone in this. The words flowed like music, instinctively drawing her co-workers closer, their presence an unspoken pact of unity. Maybe we should call the police, Mark suggested, trying to formulate a plan. But Anna saw the hesitation flicker across the woman's face. No. If they find out I reached out for help, her words fell off, choking back tears. I need a place to hide just for tonight. Anna's heart sank at the weight of the responsibility. Years of fighting for a better working environment blazed within her like a fire igniting a field. We can find a way. I have some spare rooms at my place. You can stay with me until things cool down. The woman's astonished gaze held Anna's, vulnerability and hope mingling in the air. It was a glimpse of what empathy could truly be. Anna turned to her co-workers, determination flaring up again. We all stand together, right? We can keep her safe. Every head nodded. That flicker of unity had ignited into an inferno. Suddenly, the front door creaked open again, revealing two dark figures standing just beyond the threshold. Their eyes glinted with predatory focus, as if they had been drawn toward the diner by the pulse of the commotion. Anna, Joe shouted, panic lacing his voice. We can't let them in. But it was too late. The door swung wider, and the figures stepped forward, making their intentions clear. The diner, once a sanctuary, now felt like a ticking time bomb, and Anna realized that the battle had just begun. What other truths would spill out into the open when the storm inevitably broke? The figures in the doorway paused, their dark attires swallowing the dim light of the diner. Anna's heart pounded against her ribcage. It felt like the childish thrill of playing hide and seek turned bitterly real. Stay back, Joe shouted, stepping protectively in front of Anna and the woman. His stance was firm, though his voice wavered slightly. It was the type of bark that echoed through desperation, masking a blend of fear and resolve. But the intruders only smirked, as if they enjoyed the tension building like an overcooked pot on the stove. We're not here to cause trouble yet, the taller of the two said, scanning the room with an unsettling calm. The woman clenched the counter harder, knuckles turning white. Please don't let them take me, she whispered, her voice a fragile thread barely holding on to hope. Who are you? Anna demanded, stepping forward alongside Joe, defiance rising in her chest. The stakes felt impossibly high. She couldn't back down now. Just some friends interested in our little conversation, the other figure chimed in, his eyes roaming the diner with the casual interest of a tourist. Now, let us not get carried away. We want to talk, that's all. Talk. Anna shot back, incredulity lacing her tone. You've scared this poor woman half to death. Please just leave, the woman begged, her breath quickening. You don't know what they're capable of. The taller figure took a measured step inside, the door creaking slowly behind him. You see, it's not about what we're capable of. It's actually about what you're capable of. He pointed directly at the woman. You have something we want, and you're going to help us find it. Every breath felt heavy, laden with fear, as Anna processed the words. What do you want from her? She's just trying to protect the diner, she stated, trying to keep her voice steady, while images of betrayal crept into her thoughts. The second figure chuckled softly, leaning against the doorframe like he owned the place. Oh, but she's capable of so much more. And it's our job to unlock her potential. There was an unnerving gleam in his eyes, the kind that set off alarm bells in Anna's mind. Unlock her potential? What does that even mean? Mark asked, confusion rippling through his voice. It means she can either work with us or against us. And trust me, working against us isn't going to end well, the taller figure argued, a strange mixture of casual and threatening. Anna could feel the heat of her co-workers' gaze on her, each face a portrait of united concern. Moments passed where silence layered itself upon the tension, thick and suffocating. Don't listen to them, Anna asserted firmly, her heart racing. You are not alone. We'll protect you. Yeah, a voice from the back added, rallying the others who nodded in silent agreement. But the woman's eyes widened, and she peered back into the darkness, desperation etched on her face. I can't make you all a target. They won't stop. They will hurt you if you try to help me. Anna's mind raced. They couldn't break like this, not now. She needed to protect them all. Then we fight. We won't let them win, she stated, determination firm in her spine. Your bravery is admirable, but naive, the taller figure replied, his tone cool and mocking. Let us see how far that bravery gets you when you discover the truth behind those shadows, because trust me, this isn't just a little theft. A pulse of terror ran through Anna, but her resolve remained. What do you mean? With a sardonic smile, the taller figure leaned back, preparing to unleash the storm. Let us just say the world isn't what you think it is. And neither are your friends. Anna felt the world tilt beneath her feet. What exactly had they stumbled into? What reality lurked beneath the surface of their ordinary lives? Ahead loomed a battle that would shake their very foundations. And as the tension crackled like electricity in the air, Anna understood there was no backing down now. The storm was here, and it was only just beginning. What truth awaited them? Hidden in the shadows they hadn't dared to explore. The diner felt like a pressure cooker, the air thick with uncertainty. Anna's heart raced, pounding out a rhythm of fear and defiance. She glanced around the room, her co-workers' faces reflecting the same mix of concern and determination that pulsed through her veins. They had no idea what they were up against. Let her go, Joe said, his voice steady. She hasn't done anything wrong. The taller intruder crossed his arms, a smirk playing on his lips. And yet, here we are, he replied, feigning interest as he surveyed the space. A simple diner, filled with simple people. But beneath that simplicity lies a potential that could change everything. What are you talking about? Anna demanded, stepping closer as adrenaline surged. What do you want with her? The second figure pushed off from the doorframe casually, a predator sizing up its prey. This woman possesses something of great interest to us. Something lost, something powerful. He leaned in closer, lowering his voice as if sharing a secret. And trust me, what she has is more than you can imagine. Anna felt a chill creep down her spine. What could they be talking about? The woman behind the counter, the same woman who had been flipping pancakes and serving coffee, held secrets? It seemed absurd. Please, the woman whispered, her voice trembling. You don't understand. I don't know anything about what they're looking for. I swear. Tears brimmed in her eyes, and Anna felt an overwhelming urge to comfort her, to tell her that everything would be all right. But there was a storm brewing, and words felt useless. Save your tears, the tall intruder snapped. They want to help you now. We know you've been digging through your past. Refusing to cooperate will only make things worse. Anna stood firm, her body tense. She is not going anywhere with you. Whatever you think you're going to find, you're mistaken. The second figure raised an eyebrow, intrigued. How noble of you. But this isn't just about her. It's about a larger picture, one that you can't even begin to grasp. Enough with the riddles. Mark shouted from the back, stepping forward. Just tell us what you want. The taller figure chuckled, the sound edging on condescension. You really aren't ready, are you? But that's what makes this so exciting. He took a step back, gesturing for the second man to join him at the door. We'll give you time to think, but don't wait too long. Time is not your friend. As they backed away, leaving the door ajar, Anna's resolve solidified. She couldn't let them win. We're not afraid of you, she shouted, her voice ringing through the sudden quiet that followed. But once they were gone, the reality of the moment set in. What was going on? Why was this woman important? Everyone looked to Anna, their faces full of questioning and fear, and she felt the weight of their expectations. What now? Joe asked, glancing around the diner, as if searching for answers lying in the corner booth. Now, Anna replied, taking a deep breath to steady herself. We find out what they want, and we protect her at all costs. The others nodded, some frantically jotting down notes, others whispering to each other, forming a plan. Anna knew what they needed to do. Uncover the truth hidden in the shadows and prepare for whatever lay ahead. They gathered around. Anna realized that their fight wasn't just about one woman. It was about all of them, their futures entwined in a web of secrets and danger. Outside, the sky darkened, clouds swirling ominously. The storm was approaching, and Anna felt its grip around them tighten. She took a step forward, courage igniting in her heart. What had they stumbled into? What secrets lay hidden in the depths of the woman's past? And how far would they have to go to uncover the truth before it was too late? The diner hummed with restless energy, a mix of fear, determination, and camaraderie swirling in the air. Anna could feel the pulse of her co-workers around her, their resolve knitting them together like threads of a sturdy fabric. They gathered closely, voices buzzing with plans and hopes, but the specter of the intruders loomed heavily over their heads. "Okay, everyone, listen up," Anna began, her voice steady despite the storm of emotions twisting inside her. "We need a strategy. If we're going to keep her safe, we must figure out what these people want. What if they come back?" Lisa's eyes were wide, fear reflecting in them. "They may try," Joe interjected, trying to keep the mood as light as possible, "but we want to be afraid. We can protect each other." Anna watched as everyone nodded, murmurs of agreement flowing like a warm breeze through the crowd. "Let us split up. We need to gather as much information about this woman as we can to understand why they are after her," Anna suggested. "Her past may hold the key to our safety, and perhaps even a way to turn this around." Lisa's trembling hands gripped the edge of the table. "I volunteer to talk to the regulars. Maybe someone has seen something unusual or knows about her." "I'll search online," Mark chimed in, his fingers already racing over his phone. There could be something out there. The determination to act ignited hope among them, each person retreating to their specific tasks, knowing that every small fragment mattered. As they dispersed, Anna stayed back, her mind whirling with questions. Who was this woman, really? What had she stumbled into, and how could she help? And even more chilling, what secrets lay beyond the dark figures that had intruded into their lives? Suddenly, the woman caught Anna's eye, who had been listening silently on the sidelines. "Thank you for trying to help me," she whispered, tears shimmering in her eyes. "I don't know how I ended up in this mess." "It's okay," Anna replied gently. "We'll figure this out together. We're a team. You're safe here." The woman nodded, a spark of hope igniting in her gaze, though shadows lingered beneath the surface. Hours passed, people came and went, and the diner gradually emptied until it was only Anna, Joe, Lisa, Mark, and the woman left. They gathered around a table, reports of their findings being shared, tinged with anxiety, but the undercurrent of unity warmed the atmosphere. "Everyone wants to help," Lisa said, her eyes lighting up with excitement. One regular said he noticed shady dealings, strange people coming and going, always late at night. "That could be connected to the people after you," the woman said, drawing closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "I overheard plans something about a cover-up, and how they were using the diner as a front." The room went still, each person processing her words. Anna felt a swell of anger rise within her. "We can't let them take this place from us, from you. We can't be part of it." "I have to be honest," Joe said, his brow furrowed with concern. "If they threatened her, they could threaten us too. We can't underestimate their motives." "I'll go," Anna declared suddenly, feeling the fire of resolve lock into place. "I know this place. I can reach out to some of the locals, find allies who might help. This isn't just about keeping one person safe. This is about protecting our community." "No," the woman interjected, fear flashing in her eyes. "They'll be watching. It could be dangerous." Anna took a deep breath, her heart racing but unwavering. "I get that, but we can't just sit back and do nothing. We've already taken a stand. We need to see this through." Mark shared a glance with Joe, both sensing the weight of Anna's words. "I'll stay with the woman," Joe said, his tone resolute. "If anything happens, I'll protect her. Then it's settled." "I'll head to some trusted friends," Anna said, feeling the rush of the moment pulse through her. "We'll find a way to turn this tide and expose their schemes." As they each situated their roles, a wave of shared determination washed over them, rallying around Anna's brave resolve. In that instant, the diner transformed from a simple eatery to a bastion of hope, a place where their voices joined in defiance against the darkness that sought to overshadow their lives. Rain began to patter against the diner windows, casting a rhythmic beat like a drum supporting their cause. The comforting glow of yellow light wrapped around them, igniting the brilliant flicker of courage in each heart that now beat as one. "I'll be back soon," Anna promised, stealing glances at her co-workers who stood solid behind her. The smiles on their faces lifted her spirit higher than she thought possible. They were a family, united by a purpose that transcended fear, and as Anna stepped out into the churning night, the storm surrounding them felt less daunting. She would fight for all of them, through the storms that loomed ahead, through whispers of betrayal and secrets yet to be uncovered. Whatever the journey held, they would face it together with strength thawed from hope. Anna's heart swelled. This fight wasn't just for her or for the woman. It was for every person who sat at the diner's tables, sharing their lives and dreams. Now was their time to create a future filled with truth, one illuminated by their amazing resilience against the shadows of uncertainty. And in that moment of clarity, she sensed an important truth. Together, they would not only change their lives, but transform their entire community. Real change was born in the heart of unity, and they were ready to light that fire, no matter what it took. Before the weight of the unknown could settle in, her thoughts turned to you, reading this story. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories that shape lives and ignite change. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep the fire burning. I'm dying to hear your reactions and feelings about this ending, so comment below. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Let us spread this energy together.